Hello students, this brief video is designed to assist you in completing the second library activity that is part of the library sessions. This video will detail the purpose and guide you through the prompts in the activity. Firstly, you will access the link for the activity from your Blackboard course page. The link will be in an announcement. Depending on your section, you will be completing a different activity that is specific to either humanities, psychology, business, or STEM section. This video will be for students who are enrolled in the psychology section. The link to the activity will redirect you to a library form that you will complete and submit. The activity is being graded as a daily activity grade in your assignments. You will have the Sunday, March 26th to complete and submit this activity. The activity is based off the content you completed in modules 3 and 4 and involves identifying an article source from a database specific to your discipline and identifying characteristics of the article to determine if it is scholarly and a quantitative or qualitative research-based article. To begin the activity, click the Begin button. You'll be prompted to enter your information. Once you've entered your information, you're going to scroll briefly down and review the purpose section. In this activity, you're going to be using the library database psych articles to locate resources for a practice topic. You're going to be using your own topic for this activity, but an example topic is being provided to you. You're also going to be exploring how to use different tools and filters within the advanced search to refine your results to get one singular article that you're going to be using to examine. Once you retrieve your article source, you're going to examine that source briefly for content-specific characteristics. This is going to help you determine if the article is either a quantitative or qualitative research-based article. Once you've reviewed the purpose section, you're going to scroll down and look at the topic and keyword section. This is where you're going to think about a topic that is specific to something that you're interested in. It could be anything that you're working on, just so something that the topic is relevant to your interests. Predominantly, if it's related to psychology, that would be really important that if you could use that predominantly for the database. My topic is what is the link between anxiety and depression? So I'm going to enter that here. Once you've entered your topic, you're going to go ahead and break that topic down into further keywords. I'm going to take out from this topic the two prominent keywords are anxiety and depression, and I'm going to enter that in the field below. Once you've entered your keywords, you're going to come down here to accessing the databases. This database we're going to be using is called Psych Articles. So you're going to come to the library's homepage. You're going to come to the database button there. Once you access the database button, you're going to come to the P category here, and you're going to look for the database Psych Articles and select it. So we can go through those steps here. You're going to come to Databases. You're going to come to P. You're going to select Psych Articles. Once you have the database page open, you're going to have the advanced search function featured here. At this prompting, you're going to be entering your keywords. So you're going to enter your two original keywords that you entered. I am going to enter anxiety and depression here. And then I'm going to run a search. You're going to be making note of how many results that you had in this initial search. I can see here that I had about 3,730 search results, which is typical for a very broad subject. So I'm going to go ahead and enter that here. Next, I'm going to come down to the filter section. I'm going to select the peer review filter and full text filter to refine this search a little bit more. You'll see full text here. And the peer review journals option is as well down here. So you're going to select peer review journals. You see that my results didn't change, they stayed the same. I can say results stayed the same. Next, I'm going to use the publication date filter to refine it by date. We're going to try using 2013, 2023 for the last 10 years. Scroll that down here. Try to get as close as you can. You can see my search results fell down to 2062, and I can see that more recent articles are now showing up at the top of February 2023, February 2023 here. So I can see a lot more recent articles are populating at the top. So I can see my results fell to 2062. This is going to vary based off of your own topic. So whatever you're entering, you're just going to be paying attention to what changes in your search. Different topics are going to require different things. You're going to have different things happen when you apply filters. So just make note of the changes that are happening within your search. So now we're going to come here to the synonym and alternate search term section. Here we're going to try to replace a term that we've been using. We've been using anxiety in our search. So we're going to try using a similar term, something like stress, to see what that does into our search results. So I'm going to keep depression the same here, but I'm just going to remove anxiety and stress. You can experiment with changing both keywords if you want. It doesn't matter so long as you're at least changing one keyword consistently in the search. So I'm going to go ahead and replace this with stress. Use the same one I had, depression. And then I'm going to rerun my search. I'm going to make sure that my filters are all still here. 2013. Peer reviewed. But now I can see that depression, anxiety, and stress is appearing more in the actual titles. Stress is actually being examined a little bit more in a deeper way as compared to anxiety. You're just looking to see what changes in your search that it affects. You can see that some searches here are still showing effects of depression, stress, and anxiety. So you can see that there's still some related results that are coming up. Here you're just examining your search for any changes that you can see if it did affect your search. If it didn't affect your search, you're just going to basically notate that in the field below. So I can say my results were, slightly declined. Remember that this is going to be based off your own topic, so it could change completely different. It could be very same. So you're just going to try to kind of like see what it does to your search, and then just enter whatever you believe it actually affected within your actual search. Once you basically have gotten a search going, you're going to obtain one source that you believe is relevant to your topic, something that you felt was interesting. I'm going to look at something that I feel like that I might want to examine a little bit more. I can look at this one here, or maybe I can look at something else down here. I'm going to look at this one here, association between depression and stress exposure. Once you open it, you'll be able to be prompted to either download the article automatically, depending on your browser settings. It will usually appear here in the box. So if it does appear here in the box, it does give you a download option. Make sure that you do download this article because you will be uploading it in this activity. So once I've downloaded this, I'm going to go ahead and open it in my reader. And then what you're going to do briefly here is you're going to look and review this article briefly. You're just going to take a look at it just to see what type of content is in it, what strikes out to you in terms of headings, in terms of text, in a sense of what's being discussed. Is there's data that's being presented? Are there issues being shown? So here we can see that we have prominent headings that are showing up here. You can see that this one's showing up as procedure. So there's a couple of different headings here. I'm looking and trying to see how things are being examined. It looks like they're trying to look at a study here. They have results. So what you need to do is once you've examined your article briefly, you're going to come back here to your activity And you're going to say, does your article review and discuss the topic, or does it report on a question that was posed and present findings? It looks like it's reporting and presenting data. So most likely I'm going to select this option here. And then I'm going to pay attention to any sections that I saw. I did see an abstract. I did see an introduction, a method section, a results section. I'm going to keep looking and see if I find any other parts of that section. There's results. There's a discussion section here. So whatever you make note of and whatever you can see, there's a discussion. Does my article contain tables, images, or graphs? It looks like it does. Here's a table here. There's more tables here, so I can basically definitively say that it does have a table. And does the article have tables, graphs, or images? Does it contain numerical data? It looks like the article does have numerical data that is being reported in it. These are the references. There is numerical data being reported here. So I'm going to go ahead and indicate yes. And then you'll see that you most likely can determine that this article is quantitative in nature. This is not always foolproof. You might have to examine some of the articles a little bit more deeper because some of them could be a little bit difficult to determine. But generally, these are good rules of thumb to kind of say if there are prominent sections, you do have tables, images, and graphs that have data in them, things are being reported, then most likely it's a quantitative article. If it was just predominantly discussion, you would probably see that it was more so qualitative. It wasn't really talking about an actual research finding. It was just looking and discussing the subject a little bit more. So just know that there's two different distinct types of articles in research, qualitative and quantitative articles. This is just to help you determine what are each of them. How can you tell if the article you retrieve is quantitative? I can say that, there was more data presented around an actual original research question. And there were prominent sections within the article. Typically, most qualitative articles will be a little bit more text heavy and they won't have as many sections. How might this article be useful to me in writing a paper? Well, just offhand, I can look at it and saying that it did examine this topic a little bit more in terms of how stress and anxiety was affecting individuals. You can pretty much read a lot of this from the abstract, but you can also look at the results section. You can see what was being determined here. This is looking at the link between risk and youth stress. So to get a full understanding of the article, you might have to read it a little bit more deeper, but just preliminary, you can always read the abstract to kind of understand what is being discussed in this. And I can say that this could help me inform a little bit of my understanding of how risk is associated to stressful events, how depression is linked to stressful life events. So it would help inform me in that scope. I learned just whatever you can note and that you can see that is actually what that article discussed. It doesn't have to be completely a lot of sentences, but just a brief sentence. Next, you're going to upload your article. So I'm going to come here. I'm going to upload the last article. Make sure that it does attach here, that you do see that the article does attach. Once you've attached, there's a brief question here to ask you if you can share your thoughts about the activity, any feedback that you have just on the modules. You can enter a comment there if you like. If not, you're not required to, but if you want to, you can. So once you're done uploading, go ahead and hit review. You're going to look over your results and make sure that everything is correct here. If not, you want to go back and hit the back button. Once you hit submit, you're going to be prompted to have these results emailed back to yourself. Make sure you do have them emailed back to yourself and hit continue. Once you hit continue, you're going to complete a brief class assessment form for this activity. This is the last thing that you need to do to exit the activity. Just put your information here in terms of your course, who was your library instructor, when was your session and date, your classification as undergraduate, and then what you thought about the actual session and the video activity. And then if you can enter some comments in there, that would be deeply appreciated. Once you're done with that, you can go ahead and hit the submit button, and then you're done with the activity. If you do have any questions as you're working through this activity, go ahead and contact any of our librarians here at the Sultan West Library. We're happy to help and assist you with this, and I hope everybody has a great day. Thank you.